You're welcome to the midweek edition of the business segment. My name is Kujo Subaka. Today we are taking a look at the Petroleum Revenue Management Act, which some civil society groups are finding some loopholes within and are proposing some changes. We also have some increments being announced in U.S. visa processing fees. We'll bring you all the details right after the short breather. Civil society groups in the oil and gas sector have expressed fears that certain loopholes in the Petroleum Revenue Management Act could lead to abuse, especially by the office of the Minister for Energy. In a stakeholder discourse with a civil society platform on oil and gas, stakeholders called for regulations and procedures that will check discretionary powers of the sector minister. The civil society platform on oil and gas, including other civil society groups, laid heavy emphasis on potential challenges in the implementation of the Petroleum Revenue Management and Petroleum Commission laws. Several loopholes and weaknesses discovered in the Act have alarmed pundits to start pushing for reforms and tightening of certain areas for absolute transparency and accountability. Key among such provisions is Article 5 of Section 21, which determines that in the absence of a long-term development plan, the sector minister has the sole discretion to determine 4 activities that will be prioritized for funding and support over a 3-year period, which the platform believes could encourage substantive sector ministers to satisfy political party needs at the expense of the communities and the country at large. The group is advocating that the Ghana Revenue Authority be adequately resourced to verify tax returns.
The law says that they should pay royalty in a range of 3 to 6%. But we find that more often than not, the companies pay the lower end, which is 30%. Now, the Revenue Authority is not able to assess the internal rate of return of all the companies who submit their reports, so they can find out whether they have exceeded the threshold where they begin to pay higher than the 3% to the people of Ghana. So if we repeat that in the oil sector, then it means that companies are going to get away with supernormal profits, part of which should have been coming to the state. That's why we need them to strengthen their capacity to be able to audit the companies properly so that we can get our due.
Bishop Akolgo also advocated for interagency coordination to properly monitor tax behaviors of industry players.
Learning from the mining sector, when companies change hands, either we don't know or that they don't even pay. And so communication between the Minerals Commission, the Ministry of Finance, and the tax authority, so that when a company changes hands, then they can be compelled to pay their capital gains tax to the state. So we want that coordination to be strengthened.
The forum also suggested absolute transparency in the awarding of contracts.
Apart from last year where the contracts were put on the website, some of the contracts are not yet even available. We must understand what our parliamentarians are asked to do on our behalf, what they sign off. If you take the mining sector, and look at some of the agreements. For example, they say local employment, but then the agreement will say employ Ghanaians. But then they don't put the burden on the companies to accompany the local companies so they can learn and be employable. Otherwise, they always come with the excuse they don't have the capacity.
And come 13th of this month, travelers are expected to see some increments in United States visa processing fees. According to the U.S. Embassy, the increase is to enable the embassy support the addition and expansion of overseas facilities, as well as additional staffing required in meeting increasing visa demand.
Under the new fees, business, tourist, and transit visas will attract an additional $20. The visas, currently $140, will from the second week in April shoot up to $160. However, the fee for treaty investor and trader visas will decrease. Visas which were going for $390 have decreased to $270. Meanwhile, the treaty investor and trader visas were designed to give effect to trade and investment treaties between the U.S. and foreign nations. It also allows investors making a substantial investment in the U.S. to live and work lawfully. The visa also allows business owners, managers, and employees of an enterprise conducting trade between the U.S. and a treaty nation supervise work performed in the U.S. lawfully during extended periods. Ghana's air freight industry has received a boost with the addition of Saudi Airlines Cargo, a leading air cargo carrier and passenger airline in the Middle East. This brings to 9 the number of freight forwarders operating in Ghana. At the launch of the airlines in Accra on Monday, the Vice President Commercial for Saudi Airlines Cargo, Peter Skolton, expressed confidence of a positive operation in Ghana. He said the conducive business environment in Ghana informed their decision to start operations in Ghana. He said Ghana is an emerging market with enormous business potential for air cargo. He also said the addition of this new destination will help them to increase their activities in Africa, where they already operate scheduled B747 freighters from Saudi Arabia to Nairobi, Lagos, Addis Ababa, N'Djamena, Khartoum, and Johannesburg. The Saudi Arabia ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Hisham Meshal Swalem Al Swalem, who was the guest of honor, said Ghana cargo industry will experience enhancement in its level of operation with the introduction of Saudi Cargo with its high international quality standard aircraft, saying the role of Saudi Cargo is to bridge the world to Africa, especially Ghana, West African, and the Middle East.
The business segment will end here, but the main news bulletin continues in the 4th and Studio 3. Thanks for staying with us.